is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey.
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke.
It's more like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey's a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to the big. What did I do right there? What did it say I did? What did it say happened? What was that?
The laptop entering the thing, and then it blinked out.
Oh, that's what it was.
Studio. It was just notes for us.
Okay, my bad. Okay, that was weird. Sorry, folks. I should have had something. I should have had something going on because this is the big 700th episode. But I literally had nothing. I had nothing going for this 700th episode. I really, it's just another day. You know what I mean? Like after the Sweet 16 and the 21st birthday, there's, you don't get any prizes for your 700th episode. I guess we really won't say anything major until it's episode 1000. That will be a big deal. The 1000th episode. That would be crazy. Hey, the city of Muncie comes in for the win. That is almost bigger than the 700th episode. I'll be honest. We've been waiting for this news to drop since like Dan the Man took office. It's been a big thing. Today is a really, really big day. It's almost like Christmas. It's like your birthday month and Christmas and Halloween and St. Patrick's Day all rolled into one with a whole bunch of bitchy people involved. It's like that's what it is. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's so funny. I want to thank the city of Muncie for doing us a solid and like coming in solid on the lurch when we did our show last night. Episode 699 was about the attitudes. We talked about the attitudes. And then today, they drop a big internal bomb that we find out about early in the day. And it like basically goes hand in hand with last night's episode. So last night we talked about the attitudes of these various people in Newcastle and, just everywhere. And people in Marion County and Marion City and Grant County and Anderson, just all these places. We specifically looked at Henry County, Delaware County, and the city of Muncie a little bit. But it's everywhere. This is it's like an epidemic. Okay. And now we have something that's supposed to curb that. So that's what we're going to be talking about in tonight's episode. The new social media policy for the city of Muncie. In this 700th episode, the city of Muncie gets a social media policy. Welcome to 2002, Here it is. It's like almost 2027, and the city of Muncie's living like it's the aughts. So, hey, before we get started, I want to give a great big shout out to one of you listeners. And I'm not going to name who it is because I don't think that I can. But I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you. You know who you are out there. Specifically, I got a gift today. A gift. And this is really cool. This is leather, real live, genuine leather. And it's got our TPS down here, the political spotlight. How cool is that? And it's got a little snap here. And then you open it up, and inside it has paper that you can take notes on and do things with. And so I know, right? Isn't that right? Well, you know what? That's what I thought. I was like, man, would Kate like this? Would you like something like this? They
children. One of them would steal it and use it for a sketch pad or something. No, it's very, very cool, and that was really nice of whoever it was.
Yeah,
because you'll actually use it for what its intended purpose was, and not some.
It'll be used by your children to chart the storms, the incoming storms.
Or plot a strategy for some video game, or draw pictures of ships sinking in the sea.
Ships or draw right in baking recipes.
Yeah, some recipes, possibly some different weapon designs.
You guys are very eclectic over there.
Yeah, we're weird. We're nerds.
Yeah,
we're all
I like
nerds.
it. It's good. It's good. It's
so,
good. No, I like it.
Yeah, I mean that is really cool, though.
Yeah, dude.
You.
You know what's crazy to me, and I just showed this to my grandparents the other day. I literally about 2 or 3 months ago went and got a new wallet for the first time in forever, and the wallet. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what a weirdo I am. I hate getting new wallets, and so not the wallet I carry now, and not the wallet that I had before that one, but so 3 wallets ago, which I just got done carrying. I normally don't ever get new wallets. Like I normally will have a wallet. I've only had like 3 wallets in my life. Yeah, right.
Until it falls apart.
Well, the wallet that I carried up until just 2 wallets ago was my actual badge wallet from the police department, just without the badge in it. I took the badge out, and the badge is now in my shadow box. Yeah, right. That's hilarious. Stumblefoot. But it just has the badge cut out, but I kept all my stuff in it because it fit really nicely. And what I did was I thought, man, I really need to just get something different. And so I think for my birthday, my mother got me one of those hard wallets that you put your cards in and you hit the thing on the bottom and it flips up, and then you put cash in there, and I loved it. And so I actually got rid of the badge wallet, which I've had since the early 2000s. I mean, it's crazy. So I carried that wallet for 20 some years. And so then I got this really hard, like card wallet thing I loved. And I was like, you know what? I want to go back to a more traditional wallet. And I got a leather, almost this exact kind of leather. That's what's so weird. Style wallet. And it holds your money in one side and it flips the cards. It's really cool. So it's the same kind of idea as the hard wallet that my mom got for my birthday, but it's a real wallet. And I like it. And so I thought I just love it because it's leather, and I love the smell of real leather, but I love that this will get like worn and it'll get that patina on it. And I love it. But they actually had TPS put on it.
Now you got to
And
get that done to your wallet.
yes, I don't have that done. I would love to get it done, branded on there. That would be badass.
It'd be very cool.
I would like that. So yeah, this is cool. So one of you guys,
I too am in wallet number 3 in my life. Wallet number 1 got thrown in the trash because I put it in the grocery bags carrying the groceries in and failed to take it out when I unloaded the groceries. So it went in the trash. That was fun.
okay, that sucks.
Wallet number 2 I had for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
And then T just got me a new one. And it's
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Oh, is it what?
It's a pink Harry Potter wallet.
Is it from Trigger?
Yeah.
From what's that called?
Loungefly. It's a Loungefly.
You got one of those
wallet.
things behind you, don't you?
I got a bunch of those things behind me.
Pick that thing. Can you pick that thing up and show that? This is really cool. For people that don't like, you're not into guns or whatever, you could go in and get little things like this. There. Yeah, that's really cool. Like, what is that?
It's the Fox
and the Hound. Yeah.
The Fox and the Hound.
That's really cool.
Ooh, I got a Pooh Bear one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me see that one. Pooh Bear's a thing for me. Sorry, folks. We'll get to the politics. This is, oh my God. We broke their house. Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool.
This one's not. This one's valid.
Oh my, look at that. Yeah. Oh my. Oh yeah, Pooh Bear. Yeah, that's really cool.
And then the back of it.
That's awesome. And so you got those from Trigger.
Again, into the really geeky, nerdy people.
Oh God.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yes.
With Jakku.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad it did like a color balance and we got back from the gray, the grayscale.
They're very cute.
But yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I those are cool. So yeah, I love it.
He buys them for me when they come in. Oh, and they make not just backpacks. I got one that's like a messenger bag.
Oh yeah.
The Star Wars Rebellion theme.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Well, very good. Well, so yeah, I just wanted to say that before we got started. I appreciate you guys.
That was very nice. Thank you. Even though I didn't get it, thank you.
Yes, yes. Well, I'd let Kate have it if she wanted it. If she wanted this, I would let her have it. But I will put this to good use, and we'll get this filled up. And the best part about it is inside the thing, it told me where I can go and buy or order online new inserts. It actually came with 2 inserts. So I got this one and another one. This one, so I've got 2 that I can fill up, but then it told me where I can go to get more inserts. So this is cool, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. I've got my dad's wallet too. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got dad's wallet and everything's still in it, just like he put in there. So yeah, that's cool. Hey, before we get started, if you would, please consider smashing that like button if you're on YouTube. If you're here and you're watching us on YouTube, please smash that like button. We would greatly appreciate that if you would. You don't have to buy us a handy dandy little thing. You don't have to pay money to us. You don't got to do those things. We love it. We appreciate it. We work hard for you guys, but all we ask for you is to hit that like button, share the show. If you're not on YouTube, share the link. Tell people, hey, I'm listening to the Political Spotlight, all of that kind of stuff. It's real easy. If you want to let people know where they can go. I want to let people know where they can go all the time. But if you are interested, here we are up there and here and there and everywhere. So that would be awesome if you would be so inclined to do that. This is the big 100 plus 600 more. I don't know why I keep saying 100 because that sounds like a big thing. This is the big 700th episode. Really big, a really big show. And we have a really big topic to talk about tonight. The new social media policy for the city of Muncie. So I want to talk about this because this is something that seems like it's been on the minds of citizens in Muncie, Delaware County. How long has Amber worked for the city of Muncie? I want to say, oh yeah, Bocephus, that's cool. That is really cool. I want to say Amber has worked there for 2 years. I'm trying to think. It was right after Amber. It was right after Dan basically won his second term. So he got the new term in 2023. I think she might have started working there. I think she might have started working there in 2024. The end of 2023, the beginning of 2024, something like that. And basically, since she has been working for the city of Muncie, people within Muncie have been asking, does the city of Muncie have a social media policy? Now, we're going to put Amber on the back burner for a moment. Okay? There's plenty of stuff to talk about Amber. Charlie's yes. It's the 700 Club. Before there was Amber, there was Shireen. And I'll be honest. Shireen has been every bit as rude and vile and disgusting and rude and vile and disgusting and rude and vile and disgusting as Amber. I mean, she's been very bad. I can remember sending Dan Ridenour a text. This is going to take some of you back. Do you guys remember when Dan Ridenour and Endpoint Creative, Mark Slusher, the guy that did Endpoint Creative, when he recorded the meeting that we had at the Innovation Connector, this is connecting into last night too, the Innovation Connector, we had a meeting for flock cameras. And Dan was there. There were a few people, a few citizens, but I was there. Rick Yentzer was there. Elizabeth Edgell was there. Shireen Wegley was not there. She was not there. And I remember sitting there and I had literally just been talking to Dan. Dan and I had a conversation at that meeting, and I was asking questions of the police officers, and I was like, I don't think I like this idea with these flock cameras. You know, who's going to be paying for this? What's the deal? Who's going to be monitoring the data? Who's got control of this? You know, and every time we talk about this, I'm like, look, you know, you guys promise me that the police will not abuse their tools, but I'm the wrong person to tell that to, and I really can't do much talking about it. But if everybody would go back into their minds circa about April of 2019, May of 2019, you could probably do some research and some thinking and figure out why I would say, hey, don't tell me that police don't do things they're not supposed to do, because I just have a feeling that sometimes they don't do the right thing. And that's all I can say about that, unfortunately. NDA and all. So, maybe that should help you put it together. Anyways, that being said, I didn't really like what I was hearing, and I had been talking to Ridenauer, and I had a pretty decent conversation about it. And I had made a post on Facebook, and while I was sitting there, 4 seats from Dan Ridenauer, Shireen Wegley sends just a rude, just sniveling, snarling comment to me, and is just absolutely downright dog shit rude. And I remember leaving there, and I screenshot that picture from Dan, or from Shireen, and I sent it to Dan, and I said, Dan, you have to do something about Shireen. I've talked to you before about this, but she is making you look bad. She represents you, and I don't care that she's off the clock. I don't care that she's sitting at home doing whatever it is that she's doing at home. But when she's responding in what appears to be a semi-official capacity, because I'm engaging with people in the City of Muncie and the City of Muncie Facebook page, and I know that she's not even coming on as the City of Muncie. She's simply coming on as Shireen, but she's doing it under the City of Muncie post. She's making you look bad. And Dan said, I'll do something about it. I'll get, I know. And I had sent several messages to him, and I don't know how long ago that was. That was quite some time ago. I can't even remember. Matter of fact, I'm going to type this into the political spotlight Wayback Machine here and see if I can't find meeting about flock cameras. Let's see if I can find a post about this, because I know I posted about this. And so it was sometime around that point, I told him for like the 3rd or 5th or 100th time, like, hey, you got to do something about Shireen. She's out of control. And so, he said he would. Well, now what's funny to me, what's absolutely funny to me about this is, I don't even know who the communications director was. Then that might have been Jace Crehan still, or I don't know who it was. There's been like 5 or 6 different communications directors. But then Michelle Owen took over. And even when Michelle Owen was the communications director for the City of Muncie, people would be going on and having a back and forth communication with Michelle Owen. So the City of Muncie would put something out on Facebook, and it would say, blah, 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 City of Muncie, and it was posted by the City of Muncie, and we knew that that was Michelle Owen. And then there would be citizens in the comments. There would be like me saying something, and then Audie Barber would say something, and Stumblefoot would say something, and then like Lindsay Corey Bory Fink would say something, and Preston Cross would say something, and then like Cameron Grubbs would say something. And then the City of Muncie, not Shireen Wegley, but the City of Muncie would then reply to myself or to Cameron Grubbs in a really sniveling, shitty manner. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. And I remember calling Michelle Owen and saying, hey, that certainly wasn't you. And she was like, nope, it's not me. And she was like taken aback. You could tell that she like didn't know what to do, because here there are people in Muncie thinking that's her. And I actually felt bad for Michelle. I was like, you got to get, I am jumping down her throat, giving her a hard time. You know, I was being nice, but I was like, look, you got to do something. Because Michelle and I talked and got along. We got along for quite some time before Ridenhour started hardcore into his reelection. That's when she changed. But Michelle and I got along. I was like, you gotta get something figured out with this. And so that comment, first it got deleted, and then I think they put it back because they were like, no, you can't delete it. You got to leave it. You can't delete it, you know. But Michelle made a comment and posted and said, hey, that was not me. It was a city employee, and we are going to do something about this. And you know, we're working on this. And I would say about that time, around that time, was when they first really started working on a social media policy. Now, that blew my mind, that we had a city the size of Muncie. It was 2022, 2023, and we didn't have a social media policy. So that shocked me. And she was like, yeah, we're working on it. And then I called her like a month later, and I was like, hey, where are we with the social media policy? Can I have it? And she's like, the attorneys still have it. And then that became the answer for the next 2.5 years. The attorneys have it. The attorneys have it. The attorneys have it. The attorneys have it. The attorneys work for you. Tell them to quit having it. What is going on? Why is this taking so long? Okay. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, right here. This is perfect. This is unbelievable. I can tell you right here. It was at a meeting that the city of Muncie held on August 12th of 2022. When the city of Muncie held a meeting on August 12th, 2022 at the Innovation Connector, that's like the last straw for me with Shireen Wegley. And I got to be honest with Shireen. I want to be clear. Shireen and I, much like Amber and I, we've not always been like mortal enemies. We have been friends. We're both, well, I'm conservative-ish, Republican-ish. She claims to be. I don't know what she is. But we were friends, and we communicated a lot. We have a lot of history back and forth. Her and my mother were friends. Let me tell you a funny story. So before Shireen really worked hardcore for Ridenhour, she also owned a business called the Mail Room. Anybody know that store? You know, she got ARP money for it, excess of $40,000. And as soon as she got it, basically closed down, and, you know, it was what it was. You know, it is what it is. You know, you can't say Ridenhour's friends don't get paid well. You know what I mean? They do get paid well. At least you can say that for him. So back during the whole COVID thing, my mother, who is a seamstress, kind of a Jill of all trades, you know what I mean? Does a little bit of everything. was a loan officer, was an investigator at the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office, is a seamstress.
Just sent you the post you had put up about Shireen's business getting money.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. I appreciate that. Yeah. Shoot. When was that? That was, yes. That was August. That was a year later, August 31st, 2023. I'm going to say this again to clear it up. Muncie is my home base, my hometown. I love Muncie. I do not want anything but the best for our city. For the record, it's never good when a small business closes. It's even worse when that small business provides such a service to so many. My father was a small business, medium business-sized business owner here in Muncie, and even though it was $1 million company, it had been around since 1910. I know what it was like to watch him worry and be anxious from time to time. All that said, it was announced on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, that the mailroom, 4801 North Wheeling Avenue, was permanently closed. And as soon as the word went out, it didn't take any time for people to start shooting me screenshots of the picture or texting me the information. If I got it once, I got it 500 times. And people want to know what my thoughts were on it. And I'll say this again, I don't like when any Muncie, Delaware County business fails. That's not just good for the city. Secondly, just because I don't see eye to eye with someone, politically speaking, doesn't mean I revel in their misfortune. No schadenfreude in here. Hey-oh. Okay, and I just talked about that. I do not have feelings. I literally said it. I was just joking. It says, I do not have feelings of schadenfreude in here. Get in there. Did you see that, Kate? I literally said that. Jesus. I'm so weird. That said, on the flip side of the coin, I do understand people's interest in asking questions here for a couple of reasons. One, the couple that ran this business and were attempting to purchase it on contract both work in the mayor's Muncie's administration. They are both among some of his biggest supporters, allies, confidants, and both serve in pretty high-level positions within the administration. Shireen is the mayor's gatekeeper and his administrative assistant. Matt is the deputy controller to the city of Muncie, a job, mind you, that the administration made sure was a hired, not appointed position. So even when this mayor is no longer mayor, Matt's job as deputy controller will be safe. The biggest issue people are looking at, and to me is the biggest issue at hand, Matt and Shireen Wagley and the mailroom have received nearly $40,000 in public taxpayer monies through both the ARP, American Rescue Plan, and the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program. The mailroom received $25,000 from ARP funds, and what's interesting here is Matt Wagley sat on the committee, as you can see in the pictures below. They also received $14,000 from the PPP funds. Also, Shireen Wagley sits on the Muncie Redevelopment Commission it sits as a Muncie Redevelopment Commissioner on the Redevelopment Commission, and they deal with planning out economic development and voting on economic development projects and paying for those projects. It might be harsh, but the reality is, should these people have been given these funds? Should they be sitting on these committees and commissions? Or is it because of their connection to the mayor? It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not happy this happened. I hate it for them, and I hate it for Muncie. But citizens and politicos alike would be stupid not to ask questions here. And I'll be honest, I obviously, the minute that I put this up, I was public enemy number one with the Wagleys. They did not care about anything I said. How dare I? And I'm like, what do you mean, how dare I? Why would somebody not ask this? You've got to be kidding me. Amber Green was a small business owner before she worked for the city of mayor, worked in the mayor's office. She had a little boutique in Yorktown. She wanted to see if the city government could give her some kind of loan, but they couldn't do it in Yorktown. So in order for her to do that, she had to close up her business in Yorktown and come to Muncie. And she did that solely to be able to go to the revolving loan fund that Richard Ivey was set on, and Shireen Wagley helped get her in front of. And she went there and got her money. And I think she was in business like 2 months after that. And after that, bing, bang, bong, boom, bang, pow, she no longer has a business, and she's going to be the communications director for the city of Muncie. And she's made like a couple payments of that loan. Has she ever paid back that money? Has Shireen and or Matt Wegley ever paid back any of this money? You want to talk about Ordinance 1425 saying that department heads and city employees shouldn't be sitting on boards and commissions. This is a great reason why that shouldn't be happening, because they're crossing the streams. Remember in Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams. We got one person sitting on this board who works over here, who also has a job outside of city, who's asking this person for money. And this person works over here for City Hall and sits on this board and has this job. And they go to each other and they ask each other for the money. They both grant the money. Nobody pays the money back. Everybody works happily ever after. And it's just the citizens of Muncie that get screwed. There could have been
put them in those positions, so they owe that to Dan.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and I'll tell you right now, yeah, Kate, that's 100% true. And I will tell you, if you wouldn't have given those two people money, those bits of money, because look, in the grand scheme of things, those bits of money weren't anything big. Talking about City of Muncie, $40,000 is nothing. You know what I mean? It's a drop in the piss bucket. Don't matter. But you could have given that $40,000 to another business that could have used that infusion of cash at a really hard time to really help themselves, and maybe they would still be around today. Just like the $66,000 paid to Hal without approved contracts. Yep, just a drop in the bucket. Nobody's going to care about it because it's just $66,000. We can vote on it today. We don't care what we don't, as long as we vote on it after the fact. Remember, they've already told us that deadlines don't matter. Deadlines don't matter. Well, why am I talking about that now? Because asking this question gets me shit on by Shireen Wegley. I'm told how dare I? And we literally get people like Troy Tackett says, so how are we assuming the mayor played a role in this just because they were city employees? What? That's why I get so irritated, because I cannot stand that there are people like that out there, like voting and doing things. So how are we assuming the mayor played a role in this? Well, we are assuming the mayor played a role in this because I know that before Amber went into the revolving loan fund, that they were, in communication. Shireen was in communication with Dan about what she should do and how she should do this. And they were asking her some questions that she didn't have answers for. And they were like trying to help her overcome those questions to be able to get the money. She wanted more and she only got what she got, but they were working on trying to get more and they were fighting for her. And if you don't or can't believe that they did the same thing for Shireen, then you, sir, are a flat out idiot. you know what? If the political spotlight went to the city of Muncie and asked for money, and then I got appointed to a board 6 months or a year later, and somebody was like, wait a minute, you got some money, da-da-da-da. I would say this. I would say, hey, Charlize, I would say, let me make it clear, and I would do whatever I could to get things clear for people. I wouldn't be attacking people. I would be doing whatever I could to make it clear so people understood. Okay? Well, when you have the mayor's secretary and the deputy controller, because Matt does his fair share of social media bickering, and you've got the communications director and others who go on and just absolutely light people up, you have to ask questions. Listen, I don't know how long Nora Powell's been on the council. She's been on since 2023. Well, she ran in 2023. She's been on since January 2024. I know she has been asking about a social media policy since then. I know Rose Selby's been asking for it. Rose Selby's a Republican. She's been asking for a social media policy. Because, listen, people are beating the council up. The Republicans, the Democrats, all of them in between. Because they're saying, hey, do you know what's being done to the citizens out here? They're going to the counselors. And the counselors are saying, like, look, we can gripe about this. We can bring this to the mayor's attention, but we don't appoint any of these people. They don't work because of us, or, we're not over them. So we can bring it to the mayor's attention and we can encourage you to do the same, but we've got no real say over that. We can say we don't like things, and they've said various things over the years. But when everybody keeps asking, where's the social media policy? Where's the social media policy? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today it dropped. Muncie, Indiana, memorandum to all City of Muncie employees from Jeff Howe, Deputy Mayor, Acting Mayor, date July 13th, 2026. Subject: implementation of employee social media policy, effective July 13th, 2026. The City of Muncie employee social media policy is in effect and applies to all city employees. All city employees. That's a good question, Wayne. We'll come back to that because I got some. I've got all kinds of things I want to think. I think about this. I'm going to explain to you guys. Okay. As public servants, each of us represent the City of Muncie every day through our actions and our communications, whether interacting through official city social media accounts or personal accounts. Our conduct should reflect the professionalism, integrity, respect expected of public employees. Maintaining the public's trust is a responsibility shared by every employee. All employees are expected to review and comply with the policy. Department heads are responsible for ensuring that the employees receive the policy and complete the employee acknowledgement addendum. There's the addendum. While the policy and acknowledgement will be distributed electronically, employees without regular computer access must provide a printed copy. Questions regarding the policy should be directed to the Human Resources or the City Administration's Legal Counsel, Beasley Gilkinson. Thank you for your continued professionalism and commitment to serving the citizens of Muncie. Okay? Listen to me, everybody. All right. This is very important. I want to make sure that the people who are doing the work get the benefit. I don't want to give somebody the benefit that doesn't deserve it. I don't want to bawl somebody out if they don't deserve it. We want to make sure that things fit here. All right. That's very important. Now, one of the very first things, so I noticed this and I started posting about it. But then I noticed that Roselvi posted about it. I noticed that Nora posted about it. Okay. And those are really good. Those are really good things that they did. They were doing that. That's really good. But I want to make sure that we're not saying stuff that's wrong. Okay. So Roselvi 4 hours ago, Rose said the following. Rose said, give me a second here. Rose said, this is truly great news for our city. Every citizen deserves to be respected, valued, and treated with dignity, regardless of who they are or whether someone agrees with them. Hurtful, disrespectful, and inconsiderate comments should never be tolerated from anybody representing our city. Deputy Mayor Jeff Howe has earned a great deal of respect from me for taking this matter seriously and showing the kind of leadership and accountability our community deserves. And then she shared that post. And she has 98 reacts, 30 comments, and 17 shares. I quickly got on her wall and said, FYI, this had nothing to do with George Jeffrey Howe. This has been in the works with the city attorney for close to a year or more. And at the time I said a year or more, but it's really 2 years. Close to 2 or more years. Okay. And that's very important because this is something that seriously only happened because it was put in front of Jeff and he signed it. That's all. That's it. That's why Hal released it. It's a campaign stunt for the mayor. Very good possibility. So Dan don't deserve her respect since he didn't get it done. Yeah. Dan, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. Dan doesn't deserve respect because he didn't have anything to do with this. He drug his feet. He didn't care about it one way or another. Jeff doesn't deserve the respect because he didn't have anything to do with it. The city attorneys put this together. And Michelle Owen initially, but then she whacked out, and Amber initially, and then she whacked out. So, the city attorneys put this together, and it just popped out today. They just put this in front of Hal, and he signed it. That's it. Okay. Nora too shared this and said, effective today, July 13th, 2026, the City of Muncie employees' social media policy has been implemented and applies to all city employees. Okay. That was 10 minutes ago. All right. 3 hours ago, she said, I like to thank interim mayor Jeff Howe for addressing the issue of social media policy. I've been requesting the administration finalize their policy for nearly 2 years. I addressed the same thing with her that I did Roe. I said, I would be careful giving too much credit to Howe. As we know, this has been in the works for the past couple of years. It seems like this was something that was simply put in front of him for a signature and not something that he did anything with. Now, she did respond and said, "True, Mr. Bilbrey. However, I've been emailing Mayor Ridenour and Human Resources Director Patty Goddard since July 2nd of 2024. I forwarded those emails with my renewed request to Acting Mayor Jeff Howe, and it was delivered. It was an enormous positive for Muncie, its residents, and city employees who are lumped in with bad actors. I'll give credit where credit is due." And look, I can understand what she's saying. And
that's sheer coincidence.
It is sheer coincidence. I'll also say, though, what I've always said, Jeff and Amber don't like each other. So,
okay.
If Jeff used this opportunity to poke the city attorneys, hey, if he did that, good for him.
Oh, yeah. Then I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
But from what I know now, this has been in their hands for a while.
Yeah.
And it just happened to get done finally.
Yeah. Maybe he poked around, But I'm going to tell you right now. Stumblefoot. I'm going to tell you right now, Dan Ridenour, and I have recently been told this by insiders that do not like Amber. I have been told that Dan has explicitly said he will never do anything with Amber, and he likes... See, this is what everybody said. Why does Dan put up with Amber? He seems so goody-goody, and here she is doing all this brashness. And I kind of wondered about that myself. But apparently Dan has made this is political astuteness. He has made the statement or something similar to this, saying he will never do anything to Amber because he likes the fact that, number one, she fights his battles for him. And number two, she is a lightning rod that takes heat away from him. Now, to me, that's crazy because, the way I look at it is, yeah, she might be taking the heat, but it's his fault. Space Cat, that's hilarious. The pouty lips. That's my Amber face. Okay, let's look into a little bit of this policy. Yeah, that's right, Bo. Yeah, that's very true. So here's the policy, okay? And essentially, the policy reads as the follows. City of Muncie employee social media policy approved by Jeffrey Howe, acting mayor. I don't know why it doesn't say George Jeffrey Howe like everything else he does. That's so strange to me. I call him that. That's what I'll always call him. Purpose. This policy establishes expectations. Expectations? Oh my God! Expectations for the City of Muncie employees regarding the use of social media, both when acting in an official capacity and when using their personal accounts, where such use may affect the city's operation, reputation, legal obligations, or workplace environment. This policy is intended to promote professionalism, accountability, transparency, and respect for constitutional speech protections. The city has an overriding interest and expectation in protecting the integrity of the information provided on its social media accounts and the content that is attributed to the city and its officials. Boy, that's a mouthful. A lot of words is a mouthful, is what I was trying to say. Section 2, the scope. Now, this is interesting. This policy applies to all city employees. Now, this does not apply to the elected clerk, the elected city clerk. It does not apply to the elected mayor. It does not apply to the elected judge. And it does not apply to the elected council members because they are outside of this. They are elected officials. This applies to police officers, firemen, street department employees, parks employees, Jeff Howe as a contract employee, Adam Leach, Shireen Wegley, the janitor, all of those people. You know what I mean? All of those type of people. Okay. As a man working for Muncie, I'd want to make it known that I wasn't a huge fan of Amber. Just saying. Appointed positions, Alva. Yes, appointed positions. Yes, 100%. Appointed positions are covered under this. Okay, so tell me who you're talking about in your appointed position. Like, tell me what you're talking about there. I'll go on and read this. You keep telling me. This policy also applies to contract personnel, consultants, and other non-employee service providers to the extent incorporated by contract and vendor agreements. The city reserves the right to change, modify, and amend all or part of this policy at times deemed necessary or appropriate without notice. So, I mean, do you mean like, for example, like Ted Baker? Do you mean or like, so are you like, for example, the appointed, it's very odd because Nate Sloan is a Muncie City police officer. He's a city employee. However, currently he is in the role of an appointed position as the chief of police. He does fit under this. Amber Green is appointed communications director. She does fit under this heading. Okay. Jeff Howe is a contract employee. He fits under this. Adam Leach is a contract employee. He fits under this. So that's kind of how that goes. All right. Section 3, definitions. Social media includes any digital or online platform that allows for public, semi-public, or internal communications, including Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, blogs, text-based platforms used for public communication and similar services. The policy has to be put out for all because of less than 5 people. I know, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, Shirley's? Totally crazy. Official social media accounts means any account created, maintained, or authorized by the city for conducting public business or disseminating official information. Personal account means any account not designated as an official social media account managed or owned by any city employee, regardless of position, classification, or department. The accounts of contract personnel, consultants, and other non-employee service providers, to the extent the incorporated by contract or vendor agreement, shall also be considered personal accounts subject to the terms of this policy. Okay. Section 4, official use of social media. Now, I want to take a quick break, and when we get back, we will get into that section 4. So we will start there when we come back. You guys sit tight. We'll be right back. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're going to get back into the employee social media policy. We're at section 4, official use of social media. 4.1, authorization. Only employees authorized by their department heads and or the communications director may post, respond, or otherwise engage on behalf of the city using official social media accounts. Employees shall not use personal social media accounts to conduct city-related business. Now, this is very big because this is what we were dealing with back when we had Michelle Owen in the communications director spot. And here she was trying to put out fires for the city of Muncie. We had citizens asking questions and maybe being a little, hard on city employees. And instead of them just, turning the other cheek and taking it, you would have Shireen Wegley getting on and commenting either as herself or the city of Muncie and, being just completely out of her mind crazy. And Michelle Owen's like, wait a minute, that's not good. That's not what we need to be doing. So that's why this is big here. Okay. Yes and no. I really got tired of the whole Muncie woman thing. Like she's still using it. Like, gag me. But I think you guys are forgetting how much she really bought into Team Dan towards the end. Stopped answering questions, started really hitting on all four cylinders, however many cylinders she has for Team Dan. But you also forget she's not Michelle Owen anymore. She's now, drum roll please, Michelle Clark, the wife of Dustin Clark. And I don't know what that's done to her. I think that's not done any favors. But
I lost all respect for her with that whole presser they held
keep
about
going. One second, keep going.
The shooting in Muncie.
Why?
When he's standing up there blubbering and bawling.
Okay, so let me ask you
her reaction in that.
Okay.
That's
what I thought. Like both of them put on a very weird response in that yes. time.
Yeah.
And I agree.
So she wasn't an asshole to people, but she was over the top, goody, and it just, to me, it was fake.
I had a big problem with that. The other problem I had was the whole deal where her and Dustin absconded with whatever the hell happened with the whole the party of the millennium when we had the big solar deal, and that was a cluster. So I think she got off too easy with that. So yeah, that's so bad. Ugh. Okay. So employees have always known there is expectation for social media posts, but now they are making it official. Listen, hey, I don't know who you are, Miss Kimberly Hogan, but welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I love new people coming in, and I'll put it to you this way. They act like they didn't know. They act like they didn't know at all. They act like complete fools. If you're asking me, should they have known? Yes, without a doubt. Absolutely. These people are supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to be acting like they have a lick of common sense. But they're running around acting like complete a-holes and not doing anything. And yes, I absolutely loved your input. Thank you for that comment. You are amazing. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Professional conduct. Employees engaging on behalf of the city must maintain. All right, so this is big because this is Shireen, but it shouldn't be. Shireen shouldn't be engaging. I know this is going to be hard for people to imagine, but the only person that should be engaging is Amber Green. And then when Amber doesn't do something right, Dan should shit can her. Okay? But we shouldn't have. Shireen should not be commenting on behalf of the city. That's not her role. Okay? All right? I hate saying it because, it is what it is. But employees engaging on behalf of the city must maintain a professional, respectful, and neutral tone, provide accurate and appropriate information, avoid arguments, debates, or prolonged exchanges with members of the public, and disengage from hostile, repetitive, or unproductive interactions. Now, folks, stick with us. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to tell you some things that I don't know that you've necessarily thought of, and I'm going to show you how I don't know that they couldn't even make it through today with this. So just stick with us. Pre-approval. This is very big, and I want everybody to remember this. 4.3, pre-approval. Responses to public comments or messages should be approved in advance by the mayor, the department head, or the communications director, unless prior guidance has been provided. Okay? So, that means if I comment about a pothole and a city street member says, hey, I want to tell him that we're going to be paving that road tomorrow, that person can't do that unless they get Adam Leach to say it's okay. And yes, Space Cat, Shireen should not be answering Dan's emails. I don't understand that. I get it too. I'm okay with there being a generic mayor email that various people answer, but specifically should not be answering the D. Ridenhour emails at all. Okay. Or maybe change the email to mayor's office. Yeah, right. Amber can approve her own comments, but they still have to be respectful and polite and, yada, yada, yada. I don't know that she can do that. No obligation to respond. Employees are not required to monitor or respond to social media comments or messages as part of their job duties unless specifically assigned. Official channels. Employees shall not use social media as a substitute for official city processes. Members of the public must be directed to appropriate channels for complaints, service requests, or formal communication. The city's website, muncie.in.gov, shall remain the city's primary internet information platform. The content accuracy, content posted on the official social media media accounts must be accurate, timely, and consistent with the city's official position where applicable. Civility and discretion to monitor content. Okay, this is big. Yeah, that's right, Alva. Exactly. But they have to be able to. They have to be able to actually fire her, and I don't know that Dan is willing to do that. That's the problem I have.
I don't understand this. If you're going to have everything requires pre-approval. Every post requires pre-approval. Why do you need to go into this big, long 7-page policy? The policy is you will get approval for any post you make. And if you don't, these are the consequences. That's the policy.
Yeah.
With that clause in there.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy.
But Dan supports the First Amendment. I keep reading that over and over again. Dan supports the First Amendment.
Yeah.
But don't you dare say anything without me saying it's okay for you to say it.
Right. Ah, God, that's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Space Cat. The city requires all employees engaging with official social media accounts to engage in civil discussions with all participants. The city reserves the right to reject and or remove comments and or materials solely at its discretion if the city deems that comments and or materials to be opposed to the policy. Personal use of social media. General standards. Employees may use personal social media accounts. However, such use must not interfere with the job duties, the operations of the city, and shall not occur during work hours, excluding breaks. So when they're on break, when they are on lunch, they can be on social media. And people need to know that these people do sometimes take vacation days during the week. So, if we have to be willing to understand that there might be a time when somebody's posting and they probably should be at work, but they might be on vacation. But if it's something that's happening all the time, then that's something that we'd probably have to look at. Okay. That's just, it is what it is. All right. Moving on. Employees may not use city issued email addresses to sign up for or access personal social media accounts. Representation of the city. Employees not represent themselves to speak on behalf of the city unless explicitly authorized. Employees shall not use city titles, logos, uniforms, or identifiers in a manner that suggests official endorsement or imply the personal views or official city positions. Confidential information. Employees are strictly prohibited from posting, sharing, or discussing confidential city information, personnel matters, ongoing investigations, non-public records, or information otherwise protected by law. Okay. Workplace impact. Employees may be subject to discipline for social media activity that disrupts social workplace operations, undermines working relationships, impairs performance, or violates city policy or applicable law. The First Amendment. This section is not intended to restrict protected speech under the First Amendment, but to address conduct that materially impacts the workplace or city operations. That's very interesting to me. Okay, moving on. Disclaimer: cities are encouraged to include a disclaimer on personal accounts when discussing matters related to city business, such as, this account reflects my personal views and not those of my employer. Oh my God. Are they all going to say that when they get up to speak at meetings now? Work hours. Personal use of social media during work hours shall be limited to breaks, shall not occur during actual work hours, and shall not interfere with job duties except for such use as part of the assigned responsibilities. If you could, Kate, could you please star Stumblefoot's comment, I don't know where it is, about the whistleblowing, because I want to come back to that. Keep that in mind, Stumblefoot. We're going to hit that here in a minute. Open door compliance. Communications among members of the governmental bodies utilizing social media have the potential to constitute a meeting under the Indiana Open Door Law. Now, I don't know who or what they would be talking about, because if you've got 5 police officers talking on social media, a meeting that does not make. Okay. The only way that would be an issue is if there were 6 Muncie City councilors, but this policy does not affect Muncie City councilors. It does not affect them in any way. Okay. So I don't know what that is. Okay. Kate, you're an idiot. Use the city resources. Use of city resources. Personal use of official social media accounts. Employees shall not use city time, equipment, or resources for personal social media use except for incidental use consistent with city policy. Okay, I don't know what that is. Improper storage of city records. City records are prohibited from being permanently stored solely on social media platforms. Only copies of documents may be stored on social media for extended periods. City records, including documents, photos, videos, posts, or any other city records created for social media, are to be transferred by the user as soon as practical to city systems that are routinely backed up and archived, or in the alternative, the city may contract with an archival company to provide such service. That's interesting, Kate. It'll be interesting to see how far that'll go. 7, account management security. Authorized users, departments maintaining social media accounts must ensure the access is limited to designated users approved by the mayor, the department head, or the communications director in writing, identifying said individuals as authorized users. This would be like the Muncie City Police Department page, the Muncie City Fire Department page, the Muncie Parks and Recreations page, and so on and so forth. I think it would be interesting if the Board of Works had a page and the Redevelopment Commission had a page and everybody ran those things. But, of course, they're not going to do something like that. It is what it is. All right. Credentials, official accounts, account credentials shall be maintained securely and where practicable in a city-controlled method approved by the city. The mayor and or employee's department head may revoke the credentials of any individual determined to be in violation of this employee social media policy. Duplicate or unofficial accounts. Employees shall not create unofficial accounts representing the city nor city department. Separation of reassignment. Access to official accounts shall be removed promptly upon employee separation or reassignment or revocation of authorization. Public access. The city shall follow the Indiana public access laws. That would be a first. No, they don't do too bad. Right now, I would say they're not as good as they used to be. They're better than they have been before, but they still have a lot of work to do. The city shall follow Indiana public access laws and relevant record retention schedules as it pertains to the city's official social media accounts and sites. Requests for public information regarding social media accounts and sites should be submitted and responded to in accordance with city policy and the Indiana public access laws. Okay. That's very, very strange that that's something that they keep talking about. Okay. 4 of 6, ADA compliance. The mayor, communications director, and all applicable department heads shall ensure the city of Muncie social media accounts and sites are fully comply with Title II of the American with Disabilities Act by the required compliance date set by the United States Department of Justice and any additional extensions issued by the department. The compliance date for the state and local government entities with a total population of 50,000 or more was extended to April 26th, 2027, pursuant to the interim final review effective April 20th, 2026. Okay. Record preservation and moderation. Public records, posts, comments, direct messages, attachments, and related account activity on an official account may constitute public records and shall be retained in accordance with the applicable Indiana and city retention schedules. Moderation. The city may moderate comments or interactions on official accounts in a viewpoint neutral manner. That's going to be interesting. See how they do that. Kind consistent with the law and platform's terms of use. The City of Muncie's social media pages have not been opened as traditional public forums, but rather the city's pages function as a limited public forum, with guidance from the Department of Law, and the city's authorized to remove unauthorized content, links, comments, posts, etc. on the city's social media page that do not conform with these requirements of this policy in a viewpoint neutral manner. Preservation. When a post or communication is removed, edited, or archived, the city shall preserve a record of the original content to the extent required by law or retention schedule policy. All right, we're almost done here, and I've got some big thoughts, so hang with me. Compliance and violations. The City of Muncie's social media accounts and sites shall comply with the city's conflicts of interest, the ethics codes, and all applicable rules and policies. The city does not guarantee responsiveness to user comments, messages, or interactions on its official social media accounts and or sites, and the communications director and designated department heads, departmental social media managers shall not be required to relay social media comments or messages to city personnel. Because why would we want to meet the public where they are? I get that it's not always going to be the best way to communicate. But if somebody's there, just go ahead and say hello. You don't, if somebody's there and someone's asking the question and you can answer in a respectful way, that's always been the problem, right? What's funny to me is, here's the perfect example. All right, this is the perfect example of this, and this has always made me mad. Somebody, Space Cat, puts a question on the City of Muncie's page. When will they pave Reserve? Okay, it's just a street in Muncie. I don't know if it's paved or not. I'm just saying a street in Muncie. When are they going to pay Reserve? I've had 2 flat tires in the last 6 months on Reserve. Okay. And then Shireen Wegley gets on that official page and says, we've paved more than anybody else in the city of Muncie, and you guys are always bitching and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all, I don't know that that's true. But instead of getting on there and blasting somebody and fighting, what would be wrong with using your voice, using this platform to make this person feel better? Say, you know what? We'll have to look and see. Let me look and see when that's going to be up, and I will get right back to you. Or I will get back to you within the next 24 hours. Or I will have someone get back to you. Or I know it's bad, but that's not on schedule. I tend to believe that if I ask a question and you give me an answer that I don't like, but as long as you give me the answer, I might not like it, but I can respect that you gave it to me. But what I won't ever respect is if I ask a question and instead of you responding to the answer in any way, you just go off on some tangent about why I'm an asshole. That is never a good way to handle anything. And that's what elected officials do constantly, not just in Muncie, not just local. It's all forms of government, and it's so crazy to me why these people can't take their voice, their platform, and do even the teeny tiniest bit of good with it.
The ones I love are when they're confronted with something.
Yeah.
And they immediately go on the attack.
Yep.
Somebody misunderstands what their answer was to something.
Yeah.
And they come on and they're confrontational.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't that being taken care of? And then you get a response on there that says, well, if you weren't so dumb, I mean, basically what it translates as, if you weren't so dumb, that's not what that meant. This is what that meant. Why don't you understand that?
Yeah.
Instead of coming on and simply saying, I'm sorry, I didn't explain that very well. Let me try again to explain this better for you.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have that ability.
The customer is always right.
Is never right.
You
in
are,
city government.
Yeah, the customer is never right in this case. And I'm sorry, I don't know they don't like thinking of it that way. You are in customer relations, and every citizen is your customer and your boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they started thinking about that whole social media responses in that light, everybody that's calling you, everybody that's talking to you, everybody that's asking a question is not only your customer, they're your boss. The answers would change drastically.
Drastically. Yes. I love it, Kate. That's exactly right. I've never understood that. I've never understood that. You know, I have bitched in comments with Shireen Wegley about the whole to the victor goes the spoils type of thing. Well, Dennis Tyler's putting this guy in this board. He's doing this. And she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Then Tyler's out of there and Dan's in and she's right in that exact same spot. And she doesn't have a problem in the world with it. And I bring it up and then I'm such an asshole. How dare me? And it's like, no. How dare you? So, yeah, I don't understand. You know, they could just respond, but it's like if you can't, I guess the thing, if you can't respond, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. But the fact that you're a grown adult and you can't just answer in a respectful way, meeting the public where they are, I really got a problem with that. Maybe you're not in the right job. You know, maybe you should be working at McDonald's. Okay. Moving on back to this. Let's see here. When required, the city shall provide any guaranteed responsiveness under state federal law to any member of the general public who contacts the city directly through the city's website, the public records request portal, the report portal, via phone or in-person. Response times may vary. Okay. Violations. Violation and employee social media policy. Violation of this social media policy may result in removal of the social media access or posting privileges and disciplinary action up to and including termination. Consistent with applicable city policies, collective bargaining agreements, and contract terms and applicable law. Okay. So there's that. Then we move into page 5. And this is disclaimers. No assumption of liability. The city does not endorse or assume liability for any content posted by a third-party user or users. The city disclaims liability as advertisements, videos, promoted content, or comments posted by the general public on the city's official social media accounts and or sites. And external content. The responsibility for external content of comments rests solely with the organizations and or individuals providing them. Any inclusion or exclusion of content and comments does not imply endorsement or opposition by the city or any of its employees or elected officials. And this is 5 of 6. Okay. Next, we go into page 6. Which is the employee sign sheet, okay? And essentially, this is the employee social media policy, employee acknowledgement addendum. I acknowledge that I've received, read, and understand the City of Muncie employee social media policy. I understand that I am responsible for complying with the requirements outlined in this policy, and that failure to do so may result in disciplinary action, up to and including termination in accordance with the applicable city policies and law. I understand that this signed copy of this acknowledgement will be mandated in my personal file. Employee's name printed, signature, date, and department. And then that's that. That's what that is. Now, this came out, and everybody was immediately like, yes, good, yay, everything's wonderful. This is so wonderful. We're so happy. This is going to change everything. Amber's going to be great. Shireen's going to be great. We're all so happy. This is going to make all of our lives so much better. And everybody's going to be wonderful. And I will be honest, I didn't immediately think that. I just kind of assumed that it was going to not really change anything, really. Nothing was going to be better. Matter of fact, it would probably get worse. So I want to go down here really quickly, and I want to look at some of the comments that some of the people are saying, some of the people are thinking, because I want you guys to hear and see some things, and then I'm going to tell you some concerns I have with this that I think are very important, okay? So first off, as I said earlier in the show, Ro and Nora had both said like something about Jeff Howe, like, maybe he was the one that brought this on or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not really sure about that, but okay, whatever. So I said my part, this had nothing to do with George Jeffrey Howe. This has been in the works for the city for close to 2 years. Jeff Hager says, Ro, better bring your A game because the citizens are going to check you. Why not? Why now? Wayne Scaife says, what would also be great for the city is passing Ordinance 1426, which bans department heads from serving on city boards and commissions. I hope you support that too, Ro. Air suddenly tastes fresher. Individuals working in a professional role should carry themselves in a professional manner, including dress and behavior. Their public communication on social media is just part of this. I see this as a positive for the city of Muncie. Okay. I agree if it holds up. Wait until they start getting criticism and see how far this goes. This should have been implemented a while ago. One city employee, who I will not name, has been very unprofessional with some of their comments on social media. Glad someone finally stepped up. Thank you for your hard work, Ro. I called her out. Sleazy Green is my new name for her. More than that one. This is not meant as criticism, but a point of clarification. If I read the policy correctly, no city employee may be in an unprofessional manner on either the city social media or their own personal social media. This might dissuade from calling out others for harassing or stalking city workers. Okay, well, here's the issue I have. We got to be really careful with the words stalking or harassing city workers. What does that mean? Because a lot of people use that to mean things that it doesn't mean. Like, for example, I'm just going to give you for example. I am frequently accused of stalking or harassing government officials, okay? And that is just absolutely wild to me. First of all, I take real offense to someone accusing me of committing a crime. The very first thing that I say when somebody says, "Oh, you're accusing, you're stalking or harassing," I say, then you filed a police report, right? Because I expect us to go to court. I want to be able to get your discovery. I want to be able to depose you, and I want to be able to get all your shit. Do not accuse me of stalking or harassing you without filing that police report. Most people would say, no, don't file a police report. I, on the other hand, am saying, do it. Go file that report. Because number one, if you didn't file a police report, it didn't happen. Listen to me again. If you did not file a police report, it did not happen. Okay? Period. That's just the way it is. Okay? That might be harsh. People might say, well, people don't always turn things into the police. You know, maybe this happens. And no. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about me. I am talking about me. If you're accusing me of stalking or harassing somebody, by God, you better file a police report. And if you don't file a police report, then shut up. It didn't happen. Shut up. All right? I want to read you the code for stalking in Indiana. This is the Indiana Criminal Code for stalking. It is Indiana Code IC 35-45-10-5. A person who stalks another person commits stalking, a level 6 felony. The offense is a level 5 felony if at least one of the following applies. A person stalks a victim and makes an explicit or implicit threat with the intent to place the victim in reasonable fear of sexual battery, serious bodily injury, or death. A protective order to prevent domestic or family violence and a no-contact order or other judicial order under any of the following statutes has been issued by the court to protect the same victim. So if there's a protective order in place, okay? The person stalking of another person violates an order issued as a condition of pre-trial, okay? So if that's happened, all right? Give me... Sorry here. One second. I'm going to keep reading this. Just give me 1 second. Okay. The person stalking of another person violates the order. Okay. The person stalking of another person violates a no contact order. The person stalking of another person violates a protective order issued under The person's stalking violates an order that was issued in another state. The person stalking of another person violates an order that was substantially similar to an order described in subdivision 2 through 5, issued by an Indian tribe, band, Pueblo nation, or organization, group, community, including Alaska Native Village, that is recognized, eligible for the special programs. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay. And so basically, the Indiana definition of stalk, okay? Indiana legal definition of stalk is knowingly or intentionally course of conduct involving repeated or continuing harassment of another person. This pattern of behavior must be severe enough to cause a reasonable person to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, or threatened, and must actually cause the victim to feel that way. Okay? Me sending an email that says, "Hello, good morning. I hope the day finds you well. I have a question. Could you please tell me if in your course of business as an elected city official, if you have scheduled the meeting that we're supposed to be waiting for? Thank you and have a great day. I wish you the best. Get a hold of me when you get a chance." If that person goes to a city police officer and tells them that I am stalking them, they will have committed false reporting. And then I will file a charge against them by going to the prosecutor's office and requesting criminal charges to be filed.
Well,
because
even beyond that, Kristopher,
what?
look at you and say that you have, Green is a good case in point. You emailed Green. You said you're going to be emailing him tomorrow if he hasn't emailed you back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then 2 days after that, you'll be emailing him again.
Yep.
So repeated emailing saying, hey,
yep,
I emailed, you haven't responded. Do you have a response for me?
Yep.
That's not stalking either.
Nope, that's not stalking. Here's what's stalking. Here's what's what would be harassment. Like the repeated contact. Repeated contact is if I was, first of all, I have business with this person. The business is he is an elected public official who is the president of the council and is the one that's notified when the committee wants to be set. So he should have that information. Okay. And I'm not emailing him 30 times a day. I'm emailing him every 2 or 3 days saying, hey, I'm just checking in. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, hey, I'm driving by your house and I'm going to peel your face off. Hey, I've microwaved your cat. Hey, I'm going to hang you up by your toenails and your testicles. And I'm not saying crazy things to him. I don't wish him any violence. I'm not trying to scare him. I'm not trying to put him in fear. I guess one could say I'm trying to put these people in fear that they might not be reelected if they don't do their jobs. But again, I think that would be a far stretch. That's stalking. Harassment is very similar. Okay. In the state of Indiana, harassment is broadly defined as repeated unwanted contact that causes a reasonable person to suffer emotional distress. It is legally categorized into criminal acts such as electronic communication or stalking, civil workplace offenses, and specific actions like hunter or tenant harassment. Now, I will tell you, maybe someone could say, well, you're emailing him and he doesn't like it and whatever. Well, okay, resign. Because all I got to say is if I'm not emailing you out there watching this, if you're not an elected official, I'm not trying to respond to you. If you're not an elected official, I'm not emailing you asking these questions. Okay? So you can't do that. All right? There's a line, though, unwanted contact. They are elected officials. If they don't want contact, then don't run. Yeah, right. Because I'm sure they don't want me contacting them. But they've put themselves in a position where that's a problem. Okay? So I want to show you guys some things that have cropped up. I'm going to tell you my severe thought. I have a concern about this, and you need to stick by. We're almost done. Real quick, we're going to take one last break, and then we'll get into this. You guys sit tight, and we're going to wrap this up on the back end of this break. Thanks, you guys, for hanging in there, and we'll be right back. All right. So I want to tell you what my fear is with this, because a lot of people are seeing this as good. And I'm hoping it's good. And I'm hoping it's going to change the way that Amber sees things and the way that Shireen, we should be done hearing from Shireen. Now, listen, I'm a First Amendment purist, and I want Shireen to be able to communicate. I want Shireen to be able to politic. I want Shireen to be able to debate. I want Shireen to be able to have her say. I am not trying to chill Shireen or Amber or anyone else's conduct or their content that they communicate. I want them to say and do what they want. I just want them to be cognizant of the fact that they represent more than just their little puny, pathetic lives, and they need to be aware of that. Okay? I hope that this thing makes things better. But as far as the city of Muncie goes, we should not hear from Shireen anymore. It should be left up to Amber to do all of this. Okay? So hopefully things change, but I have a fear about this. But I want to show you. I want you to see this right here. The former mayor of Muncie. This guy's not an idiot. You might not have agreed with his politics. You might not have liked him. You might not have liked this, like that. But this dude was a politico here in Muncie. He moved out of Muncie and he's doing things in his new hometown. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but it is what it is. He says, should be interesting to see how the mayor's secretary handles this news. She could use a muzzle. Shireen gets on and says, well, hello, David. Doesn't affect me whatsoever, as I have never been unprofessional in my official capacity on a city social media. What? I'll be honest. I can't believe she could say that with a straight face. What? Shireen said, I have never been unprofessional in my official capacity on social media. When city employees are being repeatedly stalked and harassed by certain individuals, damn straight I will call them out on my personal time. Praise God, our mayor supports the First Amendment. So while you're thinking I should care about this new policy, I do not. You know what this reminds me of? I want to play something, and this I don't want everybody to lose their minds. Okay, I want everybody to just take a chill pill. It's not the content of what we're seeing. You don't have to like either person on the screen. Okay, but it is very much like this, and I'm going to start being this way when I hear people saying this. Give me 1 second. I want to look this up. This just popped into my head. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got it right here. This is perfect. I just happened to see this. Yesterday. And it's very cognizant. It's very similar to this. It makes me think of this. Here we go here. Let me pull this up. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. Share this instead. I've got so many tabs pulled up. I need to get some of those gone. Okay. All right. Listen to what's happening here.
Okay. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night. Okay, 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me. MAGA apparel, everything, and then
did they say this is MAGA country?
They drove past me and they were like, "You bend over."
Okay, so they said the N-word on campus to you.
Well, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what happened to them when you reported them?
I didn't report them.
Oh really? Okay, so maybe it didn't happen.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't believe you. I'm being honest. I don't believe you. I think you're making it up.
Okay.
Listen. I don't care what your thoughts are on Charlie Kirk. I don't care what your thoughts are on this kid below. I don't care what your thoughts are about this specific situation. I know that there have been horrible acts of racism in America in the past. I know that there are still people that deal with shit like this today. I don't think it's as frequent today as what people make it out to be. I think it's just like hate crimes. I think it's like women saying that people rape them. There are victims and then there are liars. And there are just in this, okay? It just is what it is. It's the nature of the beast, okay? But this is very similar, okay? I'm willing to say that the person of color, the black kid here, has probably suffered racism in his life, but I agree that something as bad as what he's saying didn't happen. He's making a story up. Let's continue listening.
Anyways,
I refuse to believe that somebody on this campus would go around and sheepishly call you the N-word. I refuse to believe that. I think you're lying.
Anyways, next instance, they threatened to rape me and then just drove off.
Hold on. So a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to rape you?
Different group of people, but yes.
All in one night?
All in one night, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Okay, that's fine.
But what evidence do you have for this? Do you have like corroborating witnesses? Do you have cameras? Do you have license plate numbers? Because now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the civil rights office? Do you file a civil rights complaint? Did you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you not go to the university and say this happened?
Okay, because how would I report them?
Anyone. There's hotlines all over this campus. You guys have nothing but like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay. Well,
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God as my witness, I am not. Anyways.
No, but seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official, and why don't...
Okay, so you didn't report it in the past. Let's do it today, okay? Because some crimes, misdemeanor crimes, have 2 years statute of limitations. Felony in state of Indiana has 5 years. Some crimes don't have statute of limitations. So it happened last year. You didn't report it then. Let's go report it today.
You go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about
and by
that.
the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage.
I'll think about that. What is there to think about?
And we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about that.
But you didn't do that.
Can I try to finish?
You'll think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Can I talk?
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please,
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus, I have a wall of vitriol and hate at my back. And to the audience, I say to you, these are your fathers, these are your siblings, and these are your neighbors. So y'all need to clock them. And I hate overgeneralizing, but I'm not going to say all Trump supporters are racist, but a good amount. Anyways, my question to you is, if you had one message to... Hi, Charlie. How are you?
All right. So again, it doesn't matter what the message is there. That's a whole nother day, a whole nother time. You don't have to like Charlie. You don't have to like the guy down there. But it's the point. And this is, I think, what I'm going to start doing, because you don't understand how many times in my life doing what we do since I started doing this in 2014, 15 in Winchester, walking around in my underwear, that I've heard this. I literally had a sitting elected official tell me that I hired an airplane to stalk her, harass her, and fly over her house to take pictures of her backyard. Literally had this person going around telling. I have a sitting sheriff, current sitting sheriff, who's called me a criminal in the last month. So when I see Shireen Wegley say, damn straight I will call out them anytime someone's stalking and harassing. When a city employees are being repeatedly stalked and harassed by certain citizens, my question to you, Shireen, who is that person? Who is that city employee that's being repeatedly stalked and harassed? What's the stalking? What's the harassment? And where are the police charges? Are we talking about Amber Green? Her husband used to be a cop. Who's being stalked and harassed? So this is the kind of vitriol that I don't like seeing from our officials, even if they're not being rude. If you are slandering people, I got a serious problem with that. Okay, moving on here. Let's see some more of this. Thank you very much, Kate. Asking the city sure isn't going to do anything since it's not the city's water. The water company is who handles the water. Sure, I don't even know what the initial comment was here. It's probably something about the water, about, hey, what are we doing with the water? Couldn't Shireen be an ambassador of the city and say, hey, we'll see what we can find out for you? Shireen, so is the city contacting the water company, or are the citizens of Muncie still too unhealthy for clean water? The city talks to the water company daily. The water is clean and safe, as has been said by all professionals since day one. Only the internet trolls say otherwise. Boy, that sounds professional. Okay, that sounds really nice.
And on the city's page.
Okay. Now, and in fairness, these are things that were 6 weeks ago. These are examples. Okay, now.
But who was being stalked in that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, who yeah, what do you see? What are these examples of someone being stalked?
Yeah, someone's being stalked and harassed.
Yeah.
So she calls everybody internet trolls who's got questions.
Yeah. Absolutely. Here's questions about the pool. The pool's open and no one has lied to you. There has been major equipment purchased and repaired, so no one but city staff has been working on the pool. A contractor installing the equipment is not working to keep the pool open, not lying, not giving a crap about what you think I did or did not giving a crap about what you think I did or did not do, and no longer seeing your bullshit. That's Shireen Wegley. Works for the city of Muncie. Let me ask you, do you have access to that exact thread, Kate? Can you toggle your mouse over the area where it says 3W and see what day and time she posted that by chance? I'm interested in that. She's got me blocked, so I can't. Okay, moving on. What WTF? What the F are you talking about? This data was released yesterday. Just that kind of thing. Now, we're showing that to show, like, people asking questions. They're the ones that are bad. Okay. This comment was made after the social media post went out. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me get this off the screen.
I need you to tell me exactly what it is you want me to do.
Okay.
So this is the start of the thread.
Okay.
Did y'all fix the water yet, City of Muncie Communications?
Okay.
That was the question.
Yeah. Did you all fix the water? Okay. All right. Okay. Take the mouse over the 6W.
Says
Saturday. Okay, that's a Saturday
at
11:20. So she's good. She's good on that. I mean, other than being rude, she's rude.
She's not on city time.
But she's not on city time. So I'm good with that. Is what it is. That was I was just checking. Just okay. Checking. I was just interested to see if you know what was happening there.
Well, I didn't think to look at that on the other ones. Let's see here. I'm not sure exactly where she's commented, so.
Hold on, you got a personal thing pop up. I don't know if you.
It's my mom.
Oh.
He told me to tell the kid that his birthday card's in the mail. Real personal there. Oh, Shireen, there she is. Oh, dang it.
What happened there?
Most relevant crap.
Oh, I know. That's the worst thing Facebook's done.
8 weeks ago. That's on a Friday at 9:04 a.m.
Friday at 9:04. Now, I think Shireen takes Fridays off. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't work those anymore. It is what it is. One last thing. Can you go to this new one? Can you go to this one?
I don't have that one. That was sent by Brandon as a screenshot.
Oh.
So I don't have that one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let me see.
It's Brandon said it, and he sent it as a screenshot.
Let me see if I can find out where. Give me 1 second. David.
I don't know where it came from.
Oh. No, I'll tell you exactly where it came from. Okay. Can you go to Rose Selby?
Rose Selby? Sure.
Yeah.
Her personal page or her business?
It's the one where she has red dress on that one.
Okay. I don't think I'm friends with Ro, but she
it's right there.
Stuff wide open, which is very nice of her.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Change it to all comments. Thank you.
Okay, now go down to David Dominic.
There's David
right there.
Dominic.
Okay. 5 hours ago.
So at 5:50. So
5:50. Okay. Work. Yep, I'm good with that then. That works. I'm fine. I just wanted to double check. And look, these people, I'm fine with it. Now, I'm not fine with what she's saying there because she's clearly lying here. Talking about people being stalked and harassed.
Well, no, because I think she's playing semantics just like Sproles likes to do. Because she says very specifically, in my official capacity on the city social media. So she posted from her personal account, not from her access to the city account. So that's not official capacity. Right? Yeah. We argue semantics all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're going to end up doing with this.
Absolutely. That's what they're going to do. Well, so Kate brings me to the point that I wanted to make. Is this going to change the behavior? No, I don't think so. Is it going to make it worse? I mean, like Amber is spiraling. I don't know what's going on with Shireen. Amber is in some kind of like major spiral. I think she's just going to continue getting worse till the game is over. I don't know what Shireen's doing. Shireen's just being Shireen. My fear here, and this is what I'm worried about, is this is not going to be used to chill Shireen's negative attitude and her smart ass. It's not going to be used to make her a better public servant. It's not going to be used to chill Amber's smart ass nonsense. It's not going to be used to make her a better public servant. My worry is this is going to be used to silence some lowly employee, street department, parks department, police department, the janitor, from having a comment on something on city business, talking about City of Muncie stuff, having an opinion on Muncie City streets because they are the secretary in the building commissioner's office. And so they can't comment on the fact that they've busted 2 rims and blown out 2 tires on the streets in Muncie, because if they do, they're going to get written up. They're going to get in trouble. They're going to get fired. This is going to silence the AFSCME people that have been speaking out. This is going to silence the AFSCME union folks that have been putting it out and saying, hey, the city is lying to you. We are not in negotiations. They're trying to screw us. This is not going to be used to silence the attitudes of Shireen and Amber and a few others. It's going to be used to silence the whistleblowers. Okay? That's a very, very, very big thing. This policy was issued just in time to prevent Nate from busting them out on Facebook. Well, and it's funny that you mention that, because I actually had a conversation with Mr. Burgess about that very same thing, because I didn't show anything about this. I didn't say anything, just because we've had a lot of stuff going on. But back on the 28th of July, Mr. Burgess posted something that I want you guys to see here. Now, he said I could show this. He told me that I was okay. This was allowed to post. This was before the policy went into effect, so he's not breaking anything here. He's perfectly legal. This was back. This would be grandfathered in. This was June 28th. Okay. He posted this picture to his social media account. Yeah, oh yeah. I love Nate. He has a podcast. One of these days, we're going to listen to it. This is Nate at 22:21. Okay, so 10:21 on Sunday, June 28th. Seriously? This is the second time the city of Muncie has let our private information out. We was never even told until now, and it happened in January. Keep up the good work. Okay, I made a big stink about this the last time it happened, when the city's data got breached and it was a big deal. Well, this time it wasn't the city per se. It was the city attorneys, Beasley Gilkinson. So it wasn't the city of Muncie, but it was the city of Muncie's attorneys. And the city of Muncie's attorneys are contract employees. So they are employees of the city of Muncie. And they make this big post. Okay. He makes this post. Notice data security incident. Okay. And it tells what happened. It's a big bunch of horse shit. Okay. So he posts this. All comments. Teach them a lesson. Amber gets on here immediately. Less than 10 minutes, and says, that letter is not from the city. Read the top where your thumb is. Because we're trying to make him look like an idiot. Okay. Ashley says, Amber Green, it is the city's attorney. Amber says, yes, along with many other clients. Notice it says our IT network, not the city of Muncie, not our client. Nathan says, and I have only talked to these people on city business, never outside in my personal life. So the city must have handed over my information to them. Because Nathan Burgess has never had these people as an attorney. They've never represented him in any way. The only way they would have his information is because he is a city employee and these people are representing the city of Muncie.
And they may very well have the information because there was a previous data breach.
Sure. Absolutely.
And that's how they would have it, was because they were investigating the previous one.
Yeah.
And all that stays on file.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I said, yeah, this is not okay. The attorney the city pays has its own IT department. I took it as the city's IT. Either way, total bullshit. It's the second time. Look, I don't care. I don't care if it's their IT. I don't care whose IT it is. I don't care. I don't care if it's the city's IT or I don't care if it's the city's IT or the city attorney's IT. If the city was not in a relationship with Beasley Gilkinson, Beasley Gilkinson would not have Nathan Burgess. And it's not just Nathan Burgess, it's all of these people. It's all the city employees. He's not the only one. It's not just him. They sent this out to all. I mean, I'd like to know, did police officers get this, or was it just AFSCME? I just don't understand. I'll be really honest. So yeah, he posted this, and a couple of other people reached out to me today and said, "Man, I think that they're doing this to shut us up. I don't think they're doing this to make Amber better, or to make Shireen better, or to make things better for the citizens. I think they're doing this to stop us from talking about AFSCME. I think they're doing this to stop us from calling out what Dan is doing, calling out what Jeff Howe is doing, calling out what's going on at the Board of Works, calling out what's going on at the city council meetings, calling, what's going on at the parks, what's going on in the controller's office, what's going on in the Ridenhour's office, every what's going on in the fire department, what's going on with the police department." And I can't say that I don't disagree. I mean, I think it's very true that it's very possible that that's what this is.
But you know what I like?
What?
We just got a whole shitload of more sources.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and silence them.
Yeah, right.
Shut us up.
Yeah, right. Because that's all it's going to do. If they can't do it themselves, they'll just come to me. And I've already been telling these people that have been reaching out to me, "Hey, give us you're tired, you're weak, you're poor, you're hungry, whatever. I'm at it." You know what I mean? So when Stumblefoot says, "Do we have a whistleblowing policy on the books?" I don't know that the city does per se. I would think they do, but I think that the federal laws would maybe play an effect there. I mean, what would be funny is I'd like to see them try to sue somebody for doing something like that, because they would be in a world of hurt. So, and I would fight for those people at any time. Kate said, "Does the disclaimer get them off the hook if they're being a jerk to people while talking about city stuff?" Yeah, right. That'll be interesting to see. This comes back around to the ordinance 1426 and why they don't want it. To the victor go the spoils, and this ordinance helps mitigate that. That's when we were talking about all of the money going to all these people. It's just so gross what goes on at City Hall. They can't see a time when they're not the victors. That's the biggest thing that I cannot. I used to tell that to Shireen. I was like, laugh it up, Shireen. One of these days, your person is not going to be in office. Either it's going to be a Republican you don't like or a Democrat that you hate. Either way, you're not always going to be sitting in there. And then what are you going to be doing? Because I'm going to tell you, the minute that something bad happens when somebody else is in office and Shireen runs her mouth, oh boy, I'm going to come unglued. I can't wait for that to happen. So we're going to follow this. We're going to see what goes on. I'm putting the message out there right now. If you work for the city of Muncie, if someone were to break the social media policy, who would it be citizen reported to? I would tell a citizen this. That's a very good question. If a citizen is in, I'm going to make this post and put it out on social media. That's a very great question. If somebody is engaging with the city of Muncie and a city employee smarts off, says something wrong, does something, gets hairy, first and foremost, screenshot it. If you're not on your phone, if you're on your laptop, screenshot it from your laptop. There's a way to do it. Okay. If you're on a Mac, hit Command-Shift-4 or take your phone and take a picture of the screen. You've got to get it. You've got to get it. Take a picture of it. Then call me. Call me. Send it to me. Let me hold on to it for you. Tell me, hey, don't say anything about this. I'll do whatever you tell me. No one will ever know until you tell me it's okay. But then I would tell you to reach out to the ethics department. I would tell you to reach out to all 9 Muncie City councilors. And I would tell you to reach out to the city attorney. And I would tell you to reach out to Dan's office. This policy says they can remove posts that don't follow the policy. And that's true. So people need to start screenshotting shit. If you're talking to somebody, record the conversation from City Hall. You never know. I mean, that's outside the social media policy. I'm just telling you, people go into stuff blind. Stop going into stuff blind. You ought to be able to record on your phone, or at the very least, they make these. I mean, this was cheap. I think this was like $65, but they make them way cheaper than this. I mean, you can get a little recorder for $20. You can get a recorder for $20 that you can use. Take your wife's phone, use your wife's voice recorder to record the phone. Use your husband's phone to record the phone. It's not hard. Record that stuff, take pictures. Call me. You can text it to me. You can email it to me. You can email it to the program, tpsprogram@gmail.com, 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 KH Bilbrey, KHBilbrey, @gmail.com. Text it to me, call me. You can message me on Facebook at facebook.com/Bilbrey318 or facebook.com/political spotlight 318. No the. Okay? I hate that. I hate that there's no the. That's the way to do it, folks. So, you see where we're at here. All right. Appreciate you guys. Spread the word. Spread the word. Get that word out there. We're going to be going into the 701st episode. You know, starting all over. 001. That's crazy. Thank you guys for 700 amazing shows. I love you all. Big shout out and thanks to Kate for putting up with all the bullshit, as always. Big thanks and shout out to Niles for putting up with the bullshit of Kate, putting up with the bullshit, as always. Yeah. Thank you to you guys. It's awesome. 700. That's a big doing. That's kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. We're kind of a big deal. Somebody contacted me and told me, you know, I used to be one of the people like at the front of your show that bitched about you, but now you're spot on. I was like, hey, I like it. I like it. So, all right, you guys have a good rest of your evening. Have a great Tuesday. God bless each and every one of you. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.